are the spacious quarters that I have moved into. Garage is a lot bigger than what I had before, but the big news is barn, got space for my little trailer and plenty of birds. And more projects. So we're finally in our new place. Got a couple of little projects to work on. This light base broke quite some time ago. It was already mounted. I tried JB Weld and tried JB Weld a couple times, but with the vibrations it just kept breaking. I got brand new reproductions from vintage Power Wagons, and they have kind of an interesting, it looks like they're raw sand castings. If I was going for a nice finish, I would sand this all down and get it nice and smooth and pretty. But since the ultimate plan for these fenders is truck bed coating, I may just leave that there, but I'll have to smooth this side some to get it to fit smoothly on the bottom of the headlight. There's that. Project number 2 is my mighty wiper, windshield wiper motors from Rain Gear Wiper Systems, actually through Vintage Power Wagons. Be mounting these up here soon so I can actually do a little playing out in the rain. So, got a couple projects going. So this is one thing that I forgot to mention in the last video under mistakes. I guess not really a mistake, but this rear end differential pinion yoke, it leaked miserably, and I tried to fix it with a speedy sleeve. However, maybe difficult to see there, but this had been just trashed years previously. Somebody had brazed it all the way around and then machined it out. But you can see hammer marks on here all over the freaking thing. So it had lost its shape, let's say. So it destroyed a brand new seal. I was able to source a new old stock yoke from Vintage Power Wagons and replaced it. I've driven, at least 50 miles since then. Not a drop. It's working just fine. And by the way, that rear end, the gears were rusty. There was rust damage on the bearings, but it's, I would say I've probably put a couple hundred miles on it since then. Not a noise out of it, not a sound, not a shake, wobble, anything. So I'm just gonna let it go until it don't go. So I'm going to shoot these with some black matte finish. That should be fine. But first, clean them up with some alcohol. That supposedly makes the paint stick better. Highly recommend chasing out all the threaded holes here, so everything will go together smoothly, because everything's custom made on these. So now we have a nice solid mount. Headlight's not going to fly away somewhere. You have to carefully drill out these original trim pieces to fit that with progressively bigger drill bits. I've got them together, vice grips, in a vise. 25/64 is the magic number. The first one in, remember you got to drill out the hole in the cab at 25/64, and because of the angle, you'll have to touch up with a rat tail file very carefully. I'll show you the inside. It nestles in there. I'll straighten it up. It's not tight yet. I had to tweak this off just a touch to get it through there. My black panel is going to cover that just fine, so shouldn't be a problem. I don't think I'll have the same problem on the other side because of the angle of everything. Those switches were just from the hardware store. I thought they looked kind of retro and they fit, so there you go. Well, they're annoyingly loud, but they work. So that's the at rest position. So that's where I have to put the wiper. These don't reverse and home in when you shut them off. We'll kind of have to see if that would work. Get a wrench, tighten that up. It is a 3/8. And we'll do side 2. So now I have working windshield wipers, even though this vent is still leaking. Need to put a gasket in that, but other than that, we're ready for weather. I mentioned some stuff left over in the box, fuse holder. I wired them both together, and it calls for a 2-amp fuse, which is included, but I figured doubling it, I put a 5-amp fuse in. So they also give you this, which if you don't have the original trim, you're supposed to cut it at a 45-degree angle. That would be a pain in the butt, but I guess it can be done. Yeah. You also get this. So you also get these with the actual wiper arms if you get them from vintage Power Wagons. So just keep these as spares. So there you have it. They work. Centered pretty good, but that one's too far over that way, so I'll have to tweak that. This could actually go a little bit farther that way too. But gosh, sure wasn't much of a rain. But they work.